Hello, gorgeous soul. Welcome to your June astrology. Woo! It's a big one. We're back in retrograde season and we have the annual new moon eclipse of the sun. So it's all about going back, learning, grabbing the treasure from the past and getting ready to transform ourselves yet again. It may sound intense, but there's some lovely aspects this month, including Venus trine Jupiter. And also we have Venus in Cancer, making us want to nurture, and then Venus in Leo, making us confident. So self-nurturing at the beginning of the month, grabbing your courage and power as we move further into the month. Here's your monthly astrology. Hello, Leo. Okay, we're not quite in Leo season, but the planets are shifting and heading towards you, particularly Mars is entering your sign. That's super exciting as you love the fiery Mars because it brings out your passion, your strength, your vim and vigor. You're like, yeah, bring it on. I can handle anything. You know, feel the power this June of that surge forward. But that's happening on the 11th. But before we get to that, Venus, the planet of love, is changing signs. And later on this month, going into your sign. But in the meantime, on the 2nd, you're at that end of a phase. So it's a phase where you are feeling very instinctual. You might want to enter into people's beings on a deeper way. You might look at someone and fall into their eyes. You're every inch the romantic at the beginning of this month. But do be careful, because when Venus is there, we can sort of fall for illusions and charmers. So watch out for that. But with Venus trine Jupiter, the day after Venus goes into Cancer, there is some powerful emotional energy around. You are feeling all the feels. There's a lot of intensity. But, you know, I think once Mars goes into your sign, you're able to handle it all. There is a new moon in Gemini and an annual solar eclipse. And this is to do with you getting back out into the world and how you see yourself. Perhaps you've been in lockdown. Perhaps you've not been out and about, you know, like the rest of us as much as usual. This annual solar eclipse is reconnecting you to group energy. And also it's saying to you, you're a powerful magician. What do you want to manifest? What do you want to create? It is in your ability to create potentially far more magic than you even believe is possible. Now, an annual solar eclipse doesn't reveal the truth straight away. And when that eclipse is going over, when that energy is really strong, we may sort of lose a sense of our identity a little bit, and particularly for you when it comes to groups of people and manifesting, as I said. So don't worry about it if you're feeling a little bit like, ooh, you know, a little bit unsure, a little bit insecure. It will pass and lead you further into your role as potentially a leader, potentially having a voice within a group of people, or creating an abundant future. So that is fabulous news. We have Jupiter going retrograde. And in fact, we have Neptune going retrograde in June as well. We're in retrograde city, baby. But Jupiter retrograde is saying, okay, I'm Jupiter. I like to open up new boundaries and show you new adventures. And I want you to kick through onto the next level. But when Jupiter goes retrograde, it says, right, you do a bit of the internal work so I can sling you forward at a later date. And the internal work for you is about power and powerlessness, and what areas are you vulnerable? We are all, by the way, we are all vulnerable in those areas to a certain extent, but it's making you look at your primal issues to do with power. But ultimately, when you do that work, you will go forward far more powerful than before if you do the work. We have a fixed grand cross on the 21st, at the same day that Venus is trine Neptune, which softens it a bit, and the sun enters Cancer. So what is a fixed grand cross? It's a challenge. We are urged to be the conductor of the orchestra of all of our strengths, all of our vulnerabilities, all that we are. And in the mix of this, you know, you are fully within it, because Mars in Leo is part of this fixed grand cross. And it could be to do with your sense of where you belong in 3 areas, really: your career, your family and your home, and also your intimate relationships. How do they gel together? Does it work? Are you one person at work, one person with your family, one person in relationships? Or do you blend yourself? Are you conducting yourself in those areas and singing an amazing tune? You will find there is some issue, because there always is, so don't worry about that. But you'll be able to, again, using that fixed ground cross, be able to deal with it, see it, work with it. As I say, Venus trine Neptune is going to soften that a bit. You should have a psychic revelation about those issues, and you'll be helped by the universe. I truly believe that. Mercury goes direct, hurrah, on the 22nd, and there's also a grand water trine. I'm including the moon in these things, because the moon needs to be used, because it's very patriarchal for astrologers not to believe that the moon is a powerful force in our lives. And I'm literally talking to you just after the super full moon eclipse, so trust me, it's powerful. Anyway, we have this amazing grand water trine, which is, again, giving you intuitive advice and hopefully a lot of emotional support for whatever you're going through. Finally, as we move to the end of the month, we have the Sun trine Jupiter. You're feeling confident that you can make the changes that you need to make. You're feeling like, yeah, I'm a magical being. And if you pick up the threads of synchronicities that happen in your life, coincidences, there is help from the universe coming this month. Full moon in Capricorn is saying, get your shit together. It's time to change your patterns. It's time to be healthy in the way that you think, in your beliefs, in who you are. And the full moon is just shining a light on anything that is out of balance or that you need to take in hand. Could be to do with your work as well. Then we have Neptune going retrograde. And Neptune retrograde is actually quite a positive thing, because it allows us to ground our dreams and turn them into a reality. And that's in your primal zone. And then I'm ending this month with some very good news for you. As Venus, the planet of love, enters your sign, and that brings a host of magic, helps you work on self-love. You are an abundance and love magnet. Yeah, baby. Take care, and I'll speak to you soon. Don't forget to come visit me on Instagram at Michele Knight, Michele with one L, and on Facebook, where I do lots of lives, and you may even get a live tarot reading from me individually, Michele Knight Astrologer, and of course my website, michelleknight.com, if you want a reading with one of my fabulous psychics. So much love to you.